Hey everybody, this is your Peacekeeper. I've been receiving a number of comments and questions on YouTube as well as on the forums about the mod pack that I use. And if you're not familiar with Aslain's mod pack, we'll go ahead and go through it here. I will post this link in the description to the video so that you guys can download the mod pack from the source rather than from some random web page or some link to make sure that you're getting the right one. As of the making of this video, which is September 25th, 2015, we are on version 7.0, which I don't have, so we're going to go ahead and update it anyway. So one of the things, you scroll down, this will give you kind of an idea of what the mod actually looks like when it's running, but scroll down here and where it says direct, that's the link you want to click on. Okay, and then there's this big green download button. That's the one you want to hit. You'll notice a window popped up down here. Close it. Ads are annoying. And at this point, you can really close this additional window. So while we're waiting for that to finish, basically what Aslain's mod pack does is it's a mod package that allows you to select a number of different modifications for World of Warships that range from scopes to ship icons to gun marker shapes to different types of mini-map options. Anyway, the list goes on. So now that it's done downloading, we'll go ahead and open it up. Make sure your game is not running at this time. Yes, I understand the risk. Thank you, Microsoft, for trying to keep me safe from myself. You're going to get a language selection screen. Go ahead and select your appropriate language and hit OK. Obviously, I speak English, so we're going to choose English. Then this window is going to pop up. I hit the enable image and sound preview by default. Basically what this is going to do is it's going to bring up a window that if you were to click on one of the mods, it will display what that mod looks like or what it sounds like. It's just something nice. You can always enable it later, it doesn't really matter. This is the installation instructions. You can skip past that. Here's the version changer. This is important. You want to select the correct game folder for your World of Warships install. If it's not installed in the default directory, you need to navigate to it using the browse button, and make sure you select it. You don't need to select the .exe or any specific file folder, just the World of Warships main install directory. In my case, I installed it in the default directory and Aslain's mod pack picked it up. Okay, going through the different mods, you should come to this screen after you've selected that. And you've got a number of different mods that you can go through. I'll just go through what I use rather than try and explain what each one does. They're pretty self-explanatory if you click on them. Obviously, you got your image preview over here. Crosshairs. The crosshair that I am using is by Hooteriz, and it is the Tic Tac for Eye of Sauron. And here you can see a full screen image of what that looks like. That's what that preview thing is kind of handy for. I also come out here to the camera mods, the zoom out more, which allows you to zoom out a little bit further than the default zoom level when you're looking at the ship from the 3D, the third person view. It's just nice to be able to zoom out a little bit. It gives you a little bit better situational awareness. Come down here to the mini-map mods. This is probably one of the most important mini-map updates that you could possibly get. This is the mini-map style 3. What it's going to do is it's going to show the last known position of any ship that you lose sight of. This picture doesn't show it very well, but let's say nobody could see this Katori. Basically, it would have a outline of the ship icon and it would stay right there until it's spotted again. That's kind of handy if you're looking for a ship and you're like, man, where did that last ship, where was it last seen at? Boom, you can look at it on the mini-map and it'll be there. You got different loading screens and stuff, and that's, it is what it is. The next mod that I installed down here is the Fog Remover mod. What this will do is it will remove the fog from the screen. If you noticed, in your default install there's a lot of fog. It looks like you're in the midst of a fog bank when you're fighting. This removes most of that. It's mostly a frame rate thing more than it is an advantage in the game per se. It doesn't remove destroyer fog. it doesn't make that any easier to see through. It doesn't change that aspect of it. It just removes the visual fog that is always present in the game. The next mod that I choose is the training room enabler. That's something that I'm required to have with my clan. It's also very handy to use when you're testing out ships. For instance, I just did 2 games earlier today with the Turpits against a AI Montana and an AI Yamato, and won both times. So that's kind of a scary thought. Clear vision. All the clear vision does is remove the grayscale from the ships that you haven't researched in the tech tree. That's all that does. I also came down here to the more visible cruise control, which is just a display mod that makes where your ship's rudder and speed indicator is at. And then, of course, the damage counter and in-game battle clock. The battle clock is useless. I don't know what exactly it's trying to measure. The in-game, there's already an in-game one countdown timer, and this one seems to go up rather than down. Maybe it's the actual time. I don't remember. And then the damage counter, which is what most of the questions about Aslain's mod pack have been about, is the damage counter. It's relatively accurate. I don't think it picks up secondary gun damage, but it at least gets you in the ballpark. Once you've selected all the mods from this list that you want, let me make sure, go through them and make sure I got all the ones that I want since I've been clicking on them. Yep, okay, once you've got all the mods installed, clicked that you want, all you have to do is hit next. You're going to see this window pop up. And it's going to ask you what type of install type you want to do. I always do a clean install. Always do the clean install. I have yet to find a reason to do the normal install. Just do the clean install. And then hit the install button. You're finished. Start the game up and all the mods should work. If you got any questions, go ahead and post them into the description down below or into the comment section down below. Like I said, I'll put the link up to the Aslain's mod download page in the description below. If you enjoy this video, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.